Hello there, and welcome to day 73. Today is a workout day, and in fact, it is the final time we are going through workout 2B. So, this is the last time you get with 2B to progressively overload and beat your numbers. After this, that workout is done, and we only have 3 more workouts left in the 12-week blueprint. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 nutrition mistakes that I see as a fitness professional in this industry. And these mistakes could be holding you back from your maximum potential. These 5 things are not necessarily in order, just things that I've observed and have held back many people from reaching their goals, and once corrected, will get you on the right track to success. Number 1, this is going to apply to people doing the 12-week blueprint to muscle that are more on the hard gainer side. They don't put on muscle easily, and they message me asking why they're not putting on weight, why they're not gaining muscle, why they are not able to bulk. And the answer is you're not eating enough. This is a very simple equation because in order to put on muscle and weight, you need to be consuming more calories than you're burning. That's just the way that law of thermodynamics works. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out and eat a bunch of junk food. I am not a proponent of dirty bulking. Sometimes, however, if you do have a super fast metabolism or you are a hard gainer with a small appetite, you do have to eat more calorically dense foods, which can include some things like burgers and fries on occasion. I'm not saying load up on sugar or junk. That's not going to do a whole lot for the good of your physique. That's going to more lead to fat accumulation. However, if you're not gaining any weight, that simply means you need to eat more. Now, here's where a lot of people go wrong, and I see this all the time. People will tell me that they're eating everything. I eat a lot and I'm not gaining weight. Okay, well, how much are you eating? A lot. Okay, well, how much are you eating? I don't know, but I'm full. I eat a big breakfast and then I eat a big lunch. I'm not really hungry at dinner and I have a snack before, but that's not eating a lot. If you can't give me a straight and specific answer, then how do you know that you're eating a lot and that you're eating a lot consistently on a daily basis, week to week? By tracking. Make sure you know how many meals a day you're getting consistently and approximately how many calories a day you're getting consistently. And then once you can tell me that, if you're not gaining weight, eat more. If you are gaining weight at the correct speed, roughly a pound or so a week with the 12-week blueprint, if your goal is to build maximal muscle, then keep it there. If you're gaining too fast and you notice an accumulation of body fat or bloating or a lot of water retention, then you can back it down a little bit. You need to know how much you're eating in order to decide if you are actually eating enough. For somebody with a small appetite or super fast metabolism, this may be hard to process and hard to accept, but it is the fact. If you are not putting on muscle and not gaining weight, you are not eating enough. And if you're not eating enough, you need to know how much you are eating and do that consistently so that you can eat more. Simple as that. Mistake number 2, you are eating too much or the incorrect types of food. This applies mostly to people in a fat loss phase, but also to people who are accumulating fat at a faster rate than they would like to during a muscle gaining phase. The simple equation for this is the exact opposite of the previous mistake that I see, and that is simply to eat less. And that does not mean starving yourself or under eating. I see that all the time as well, where people drastically cut their calories. It's not sustainable, and after a week or two, they rebound back and go to the same or higher calories than they were before. Their appetite is increased from the ghrelin production from starving themselves for 2 weeks, and they end up back in the same place they started or worse off. And again, when people reach out to me asking how they can lose fat, and I start them off with nutrition, asking them what they eat and what their nutrition plan looks like, they can't really tell me. They can't give me an answer. They just eat what they think is healthy, maybe 2, 3, 4 meals a day. And those meals can vary anywhere when they start to give me details from 300 calories a meal all the way up to 1,000 calories a meal. It is not consistent and it is not tracked. So you have no idea how many calories you're consuming in a day. You are unable to keep that consistent, and therefore you have no idea whether you need to cut calories, add a meal, subtract a meal, increase protein, decrease protein. You need to have the variables somewhat consistent so you know where to make changes. So find the point where your weight stays fairly consistent. That means you're at maintenance calories, and then you're going to cut 300 to 500 calories from there to start and see how your body responds. Again, consistency is key. Both of these first two mistakes tie hugely into mistake number 3, and that is failure to track or track accurately. Now, there are two important parts when it comes to tracking your food. The first is either weighing or measuring your food properly, at least until you have a good idea of what a proper serving looks like. A common example I see with this is peanut butter, where peanut butter is very calorically dense and the serving size is usually 2 tablespoons, which is a very small amount. What most people assume is that 1 large spoonful is equal to a tablespoon. So they will take 2 large spoonfuls and end up with 4 to 5 tablespoons, more than doubling their calories of an already calorically dense food. So instead of 190 calories, they're consuming upwards of 500 plus calories in 1 serving of peanut butter. Now, as crazy as it seems, this can make or break your nutrition plan, as 500 calories is the amount of deficit that I recommend being in on a weight loss plan. So if you're consuming 500 calories from peanut butter, that means that 1 serving of peanut butter has just completely taken you out of your calorie deficit and is the difference between losing 1 pound a week and 0 pounds a week. The other factor with nutrition is just somewhat studying the labels, using an app, or of course, this is provided in any one of my coaching services, having a basic understanding of the nutrients that you're getting in the meals. So making sure you're tracking your food so that you know you're getting enough protein to build muscle, if that is your goal, and keep everything running optimally, enough fats to keep your hormones levels up and healthy, and you're not eating too many of your carbohydrates from sugars or very simple nutrient lacking sources. If being too nitpicky with tracking is not your thing, or intuitive eating is your thing and you found success with it, that is great. However, it is much more difficult to be consistent if you are not tracking your food. So especially at the start, it's important to track to find what your baseline calories are. And then if you want to gain weight, add calories. And if you want to lose weight, subtract calories. But how are you going to know where to go if you have no idea where you've been? Mistake number 4 is making meals too bland and a diet plan unsustainable. Somewhere along the way in bodybuilding, people decided that dieting meant fish, asparagus, plain chicken breast, and broccoli. Now, this is not sustainable, this is boring, this is bland, and somebody's not going to stick for it for more than a week or so before they're absolutely miserable and their taste buds are screaming for something different. If you're dreading every single meal that's coming to you, or you're craving and anticipating a meal you know you'll never get on your plan, how are you going to stick to your nutrition plan? And after all, that is the main factor for success in this, is consistency and being able to make a lifestyle out of it. So the main thing I focus on when I'm helping any one of the people who are working with me on coaching is to find out what they're currently eating, what they like to eat, and then keeping as many of those things incorporated in their plan as possible while giving them variety and keeping their macro and micronutrients in an optimal range to achieve the results that they're after. The only time you may not be able to enjoy your nutrition plan is if you're several weeks out from a bodybuilding competition, but that is a very small percentage of people, and for most people who are just looking to lose weight, get toned, slim up, look good on the beach, you can absolutely enjoy your diet plan and enjoy the foods that you like best while still reaching the results that you're after. And mistake number 5 is failure to plan. It's a cliche, but failing to plan is planning to fail when it comes with your nutrition regimen. This doesn't mean you have to have a giant meal prep day and have every single meal of the day stored up in a perfect Tupperware container in your fridge. Unless that's your thing, then go for it. It does mean you have to have a sustainable routine that you're able to stick to and consistently keep while having a backup plan in case of curveballs. For example, I cook breakfast and dinner fresh for myself every day because I'm at home, I'm not at work, I'm not at the gym. I can focus on making those meals tasty and putting a little more time and prep into those. For my other meals, I have those planned ahead of time for when I'm working with clients, and if need be, and I know I'm going to be away from the house for an extended period of time, I bring a shake with me so that I can make sure I don't miss a meal and I don't have to resort to some sort of crappy fast food alternative. This is very simple and sustainable for anybody who's working a 9 to 5. You can get up, have breakfast, pack a couple meals, one for lunch, one for pre-workout in the office, bring a protein shake with you just in case, maybe a piece of fruit to go with that. If things get super busy and you get called into a meeting, it's easy to slam down that shake. And then you can cook dinner fresh when you get home. Or if you know you're going to be exhausted after a long day, you can have dinner pre-planned ahead for you. So super simple, super sustainable. Just make sure you have a plan in place that you know you will be able to stick to. It's the people who plan to fail who end up stopping at fast food restaurants on road trips or having Uber Eats deliver some unhealthy option to the office simply because they did not pack their meal. And once you slip off your plan once, it's that much easier to do it again down the road. So those are the 5 biggest mistakes that I see people make when it comes to nutrition. If you've had any issues with any of these, or if you found good solutions for any of these mistakes, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, have a fantastic workout. That last workout to be of the trainer. Crush it. Get that last opportunity to progressive overload on those exercises. And I cannot wait to see you in tomorrow's video.